channel.
What's good, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Iron Rounds, and we're continuing on our Assassin's Tournament again. And on this round, we are going to put Harry Hart from the Kingsman film going against Ethan Hunt from the Mission Impossible franchise. All right, to see who's going to win this. And now, if you guys aren't already familiar, let me explain. We go 3 rounds with these characters. The first round is range, the second round is close up, and the third round is get it done. So let's start off with round 1, shall we? All right, now range is a pretty interesting one because both are pretty skilled when it comes down to it. Let's start off with the quickness and speed between the two. The two show pretty impressive depth when it comes to speed. For example, Harry being able to take a noose off his neck before a rope off his neck before the shot could actually taser him around it, and like lightning speed, I would say. That shows that he's really quick when it comes to the draw. And Ethan Hunt the same way. Remember, in one movie, in Mission Impossible 2, he has his back turned. The guy has the upper hand, pulls out a gun. He's about to shoot him. He manages to, and on top of that, while his back is turned, the gun that he needs is not in his pockets or on his side. It's in the ground on a pile of sand. So he has to move with a quick reaction to pick it up, kick it into the air, grab it, turn around and shoot the guy without getting shot by the guy. Think about how much of a disadvantage that was, and he still managed to show with speed that he was able to do that. So Ethan Hunt is no one to mess with. But between the two, when it comes to range, who has shown to be much more better at range shots? I'm going to give this round to Harry Hart. Now, the reason I say this is because of 2 reasons. One, yes, that feat was impressive, but if you remember the bar scene where Harry had his back turned and he managed to use a glass mug to hit a guy in the head right between the eyes, he's shown time to time that he can still be able to shoot somebody with a pretty good precision of aim, and with his good eyesight be able to take someone down. Even though in the sequel he didn't do the same thing, the first one he did show that he was capable with his hindsight, his vision, and on top of that, his ability to project what exactly would be able to manage to land was showing his skill right then and there. And don't forget, in the sequel, he got to show with just one eye, he managed to shoot. So there was like this robot throwing these like tiny little cannon bombs or some little explosive bombs right at him, and he managed to use his umbrella to hit it back and blow the robot's back with it. It was a tiny piece of like material weapon that was coming at him, and he managed to aim it, shoot it, and take it down and put it back at them. So Harry Hart, when it comes to shots wise, along with his umbrella, has a much more of an advantage compared to Ethan Hunt. Between the two, yes, they both are pretty impressive when it comes to skill, but Harry has shown through his time in the films that he's much more capable when it comes to long range shots. So I give this round to Harry Hart. All right, now round 2, close up. Now, obviously, with Harry Hart, you're going to get a pretty good fight. Because if you remember in the bar scene, he fought a bunch of guys who were bigger than him and stuff like that without any problem the first time. Second time was an issue, but the first time he showed that he could really take a few guys down. He also, in the church alone, showed that he could take a massive amount of people all at once with the equipment he has or with his own bare hands. The guy shows he's very skilled when it comes to fighting, and he loves a good fight. Now, on top of that, he showed that he's pretty tough when it comes down to it. He took a bullet in the head, he survived. So you guys throw a man a bone. But Ethan Hunt, at the same time, you could say the same thing about this gentleman right here, because he climbed a cliff without any equipment. He climbed a glass wall building when equipment was getting faulty. I mean, he held himself on a plane. I mean, this guy has done a lot of incredible feats. Remember that one time he was tied up on a big pole, and he managed to jimmy himself back up all over the rope. Over the pole, so he can get himself off of it. The guy shows toughness where it is, and he got tortured a couple times here and there, and he still managed to prove that he can handle himself when it comes down to it. And let's not even forget the fact that one time that Ethan had got himself strapped into a car, fell off a few feet with the car, hitting face first with the pavement with the car and surviving it. Even though he didn't get up right away, he still proved that he was tough enough to take that hit. But ultimately, who would win this fight? I'm going to give this round, you're probably going to find this difficult to believe, but I'm going to give this round to Ethan Hunt. A lot of people would say, well, Harry Hart has probably got much more physics skill sets when it comes to fighting. But I'm going to give it to Ethan Hunt because between the two, who has stayed more consistent when it comes to taking down fighters? I'm going to give it to Ethan Hunt because has over the years been in several franchises in his movie, and he still managed to fight a lot of guys over the years. Harry, throughout his franchise in this film, through the sequel, he doesn't get better at fighting until like the last possible minute at the end of the movie. So it's safe to say that Harry has lost a few steps from his time as the agent before. So current Harry compared to current Ethan, I'm gonna give Ethan more credit where credit is due. He keeps himself more fully intact when it comes to fighting, and he keeps himself more sharp when it comes to battling someone out, compared to Harry, who's lost a few steps. So losing a few steps against someone who's still kind of capable of handling his own, yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Hunt. All right, round 3, get it done. Now on one end, Ethan Hunt obviously has shown from time to time that he is incredible when it comes to impossible missions, because he's managed to achieve succeeding in a lot of them. Whether he's fighting a whole army of goons, or he has to jump off of something, or he has to deal with some kind of intense pressured situation and it has like a dead clock situation. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Ethan when it comes to pressure. He knows how to handle it well, and he's always thinking on his feet when it comes to situations, like real quick. Like out of everybody on his team, he's the only one who pretty much improvises last possible minute to get it done. So Ethan, on top of that, you've seen him when it comes to fighting a bunch of people. He's fought time and time. He's shown that he can fight bare fist. He can fight with his gun. He can fight with his gadgets. The guy has a lot of things going for him. On the other corner, you have Harry Hart, who is skilled beyond compare. He's got speed, he's got agility, he's shown time after time he can take a whole lot of people down. He's fought many people on different situations. He handles pressure very well when it comes to anything. He even fought a robotic dog. Remember, I still cannot forget about the church scene. That church scene alone shows how deadly Harry Hart is when it comes to fighting someone. Like, he really can put someone down. He could put a whole bunch of people down if he wanted to. So at the end of the day, who's going to win this fight between Ethan Hunt or Harry Hart? I'm going to give this fight to Harry Hart. Now you're probably thinking, well, why would I do that? Okay, let me explain. Harry Hart, between Ethan Hunt and Harry Hart, who has the better equipment is the $1 million question when it comes to the final round. You could be skilled and you could be deadly, which both are, but when it comes down to it, who has the better gear to get it done? Obviously, Harry does. When you watch the franchise of Ethan Hunt or Mission Impossible franchise, they use like special spy gadgets like masks or certain watches, but not really anything like too deadly compared to Harry Hart's equipment. He has like a taser in his ring. He's got like a taser on his watch. He's got an umbrella that has a camera on it, and he has like I think taser in the umbrella. He uses that as a weapon. I think he has a sword inside of it. He has gun that is pretty damn good. Like, the guy has a weapon in everything he owns. Compared to the bulletproof situation, Harry Hart has much more of a bulletproof suit than Ethan Hunt. Ethan Hunt uses somewhat bulletproof compared to Harry Hart. Harry Hart has much more precision when it comes to taking the shot. But again, ultimately, his equipment's going to help him when it comes to a fight between Ethan Hunt. Ethan might be clever and capable, but if he gets tasered or he gets stabbed or something with an element of surprise equipment coming at him by Harry, which is fast enough to do it, I do believe Harry's going to have his number at some point, and then he will win this round. So I give this round again to Harry, and I think Harry Hart will move on to the next round. And as always, No Purse fam, if you guys agree or you don't agree with me, you guys can vote on TikTok this week coming out. It's going to give you guys a poll. If you guys agree with my argument, you guys can vote Harry Hart, and Harry Hart will move on to the next round. But if you guys think I didn't make a good argument, you guys can vote Ethan Hunt, and Ethan Hunt will move on to the next round. As always, No Purse fam, we really appreciate you guys. Catch you guys later. Peace.